Hi and welcome to Meals Ready to Eat. I'm your host Sean Patterson, and this week we're doing a special dedication show to the late Ravi Shankar, who died earlier this week. We're going to be honoring him by playing some sitar music and making some shrimp alfredo. Let's get started with the ingredients list. It includes garlic, white wine, something like a pinot grigio, butter, cream, in this case raw shrimp, pasta, and white pepper and salt. So we're going to start it off by chopping some garlic. You've all seen me do this 100 times by now, I'm sure, but you want to start by shelling it and then of course chopping it. And then once you do that, set it aside and start grating some Parmigiano-Reggiano cheese. You can use grana padano, but I think that generally Reggiano is what you want to go with. So once you have that, go ahead and get your pan nice and hot on medium heat and prepare the shrimp. Now the key to preparing shrimp is to first of all take off any sort of shell and devein it, but then also rinse them and then pat them dry. You can then add them with some butter and some olive oil to a pan, as I'm doing here, and cook them about a minute on each side. I will typically season the shrimp, in this case with white pepper, since that's what I'm using for the sauce, as well as some sea salt. Of course, the key to making a really tasty, tender shrimp is to not overcook it. And it's really easy to overcook it, so let me tell you how you're going to know when it's done. Two things. One, it's going to curl up, and then the second one is that you're going to notice that it goes from translucent to opaque. Now that the shrimp are done, take them off and set them aside. Put some olive oil back in your still warm pan and put in some garlic, cooking it on medium heat. Now once the garlic begins to cook, it'll gradually start to change color, and that's when you add in the white wine to sort of deglaze the pan. Now after cooking that down for 3 or 4 minutes, what you can do then is add the cream. And what you're going to want to do once you add the cream is you're going to want to start whisking it constantly to make sure that it doesn't get all lumpy. Whisking it can also prevent you from scalding the cream. Now what you're going to do is take the grated Parmesan, you're gradually going to sprinkle it into the cream sauce. And as you're doing that, you're going to want to constantly be whisking it, and that assures that you don't get a lumpy, really unmanageable and disgusting sauce at the end. What you're going for is a very uniform sort of a sauce. Once you've finished adding all of your Parmigiano-Reggiano, go ahead and season it with white pepper. Then toss the shrimp back in and continue mixing the sauce all together. Once you've done that, put in your pasta, and as the pasta is cooking for about 3 minutes if it's fresh, you're going to go back to the sauce and add in a couple of tablespoons of butter. Go ahead and work that in gradually. That's what finishes off the sauce. Now go ahead, drain the pasta and mix it into the pan with your sauce. If you've done it correctly, what you end up with is a really tender pasta, super tender shrimp, and a really well-balanced alfredo sauce. Go ahead and plate it and finish it off with a little bit more Parmigiano-Reggiano as well as some pink Himalayan sea salt. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make shrimp alfredo. Bon appetit! Find us online at youtube.com/mealsreadytoeat or at aperturewebproductions.com or on Facebook, where we're listed as facebook.com/aperturewebproductions. Follow us on Twitter at apertureweb. From Meals Ready to Eat and Aperture Web Productions, I'm Sean Patterson.